Hey crafters, happy fall to you. Hope you're enjoying it out there. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely ready for a cozy season. The leaves changing, maybe your pumpkin spice beverage and the warm and toasty candles. I'm ready for it. Especially this time of year, it's a lot of fun to bust out some fall craft projects, maybe some sewing projects, get a little creative inspiration going. Lately, that's been a really great way for me to kind of put my brain into the creative space, take a little break from a little stress and the news and all of that stuff. Of course, crafters, you know that getting our brains into that happy creative space, whatever your craft or creative outlet is, can be really good for just mental health, well-being, maybe even make something cute for yourself or make something fun for somebody else. It can be a great way to just take that moment for you and do a little stress relief. Now, while let's not make that our only form of resistance, that's definitely a great thing to be doing this time of year, and the project I'm going to be doing today is definitely going to take all of my brain power. I'm going to be doing one of our favorite projects on the channel, which is upcycling something I got for free and turning it into something that I actually want to wear. If you've ever watched any of my upcycle videos, you know these projects are a challenge because you never know what I'm working with, how much fabric I've got, what kind of repair it's in, and how on earth can I turn it into something that's just right for me. Well, it usually takes a lot of DIY magic, a little bit of head scratching, and a lot of creativity. Today's project is all about using some PJs, or maybe like long underwear, loungewear, pieces that a neighbor was giving away. And I'm going to be combining those with an item from my closet that never quite fit right, haven't worn it yet. Put those two together to make a totally new garment for fall. Join me for the crafting adventure today. Grab yourself your warm fall beverage, maybe even light your candle, get all cozy, and I'll show you what I'm working with and what I plan to make it into. Let's dive in and let's do some upcycling. Well, here is my freebie find, you guys. This is a very cute PJ slash, I don't know, long john, long underwear set. It's from the company store, and the fabric feels really nice. Nice cotton, and of course, super cute print. Got leaves and acorns all over it. So cute. One of my neighbors was giving this one away, and so I thought, oh, I got to do something with this. But I've had it in my craft stash for a while now because of a couple things. Let's take a look. Well, I love this print. Isn't that adorable? Got the leaves, berries, and the acorns. The only problem is it's kind of not a great color combination on me. The background is cream, and there's a lot of olive green going on. So those two things together make it not ideal. Like, it's not horrible, but it's a little tricky. I don't know, cream just really doesn't work on me. And then the other issue is the elastic that's sewn into the waistband is all stretched out. So if I was going to fix that, I'd need to cut out all the stitching and then add elastic, or make a new tube for that elastic and then insert new elastic. So I could do that, but it sounds kind of like a pain. So I haven't done it yet. However, I was just looking through my craft stash and mending pile and I had a light bulb moment. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Ta-da! I was looking through my mending slash upcycling slash fix stash and I realized that I've had this shirt for a little while waiting for a project. I purchased it, not quite sure if the size was going to work for me. I ended up upsizing a little bit more than I needed to, so the shirt's a little bit boxy. That made me think I should probably try using it for a t-shirt dress project. The only problem is I haven't been able to find a fabric that coordinated with it until now. And yes, they've both been sitting in my craft stash, and I didn't notice that they matched. But one of the leaf colors is pretty darn close. So that's very cool. Okay, so for t-shirt dresses, you guys know I usually like to take the t-shirt as it is and just add extra fabric to it to make a skirt. I'm thinking maybe we could make like a peasant skirt that has like ruffles or like layers to it. So maybe we could use, there we go. Maybe we could use the top of the pants as one layer. And then maybe we could use some pieces from the pant legs as another layer. And we might be able to use sections of the shirt and use those to create another layer and sew them together. Kind of a ruffly, romantic skirt. I don't know. That may be a lot of work. But this is too cute, and I think we gotta do it. So let's do it. Wow, guys. Well, after much slicing and dicing, I'm very grateful for my rotary cutter with this project. And now, with some sewing, you can tell we now have 3 layers of ruffles that we can sew together into the kind of peasant skirt part that we're going to sew onto our t-shirts. Man, I will say we used up just about every bit of that shirt that we could. The top tier is 2 pieces sewn together, and they are slices from the top of the shirt. I think it was 2 slices. So we've got 2 pieces sewn together. Then our middle tier is actually 4 panels, and those were slices from the rise of the pants, so from the crotch to the waistband. And then our bottom ruffle is slices from the legs of the pants as well as from the sleeves. So, wow, we used up most of the shirt and almost all of the pants. So this is all we got. I'm hoping the skirt will be long enough. We'll see. I think I'm going to be using probably a small seam allowance sewing these guys together, and I made the layers about as long as I could. So hopefully it will work. Now I have run 2 lines of gathering stitches on the front of each ruffle and then kind of on the back. I've just divided them in half, so the front of this ruffle's got 2 lines, the back has 2 lines, of course on the front there too. Of course, these gathering stitches, they're going to allow us to, really big stitches, tug on that bottom thread and gather up our ruffles. And yeah, that's going to take a while. But then we'll need to, once our ruffles are gathered to the ruffle above it, we'll need to pin it and sew it, and eventually have 3 tiers of this skirt. Let's get to gathering, pinning, and sewing, because this is going to take a little while. Here we go. Well, good morning, guys. It is yet again a new day, and you can tell we have a dress. Yay! You guys saw me gather the first tier of the skirt, gather it and pin it and sew it to the bottom of the shirt. We did that first. I didn't end up trimming the length of the shirt at all this time because I was kind of concerned that this whole dress might end up being too short. So I sewed the skirt to the very bottom of the shirt. If I'd had more skirt fabric, I could have potentially trimmed the t-shirt off maybe at like waist level and then sewn the skirt to that. That would be a cute look. As is, we're getting kind of a drop waist situation going on, which I am really enjoying as well. Of course, then we gathered and pinned the other tiers of the skirt to each other and sewed those on. And yes, that did take forever. You could tell late last night off camera, I did start to get the hem going on that skirt. I've just folded up the bottom raw edge and I'm pinning it and I'm going to sew that in place. You could theoretically leave it, but this knit fabric seems to fray and kind of stretch out if you just leave it raw. So I'm doing that. I think we're almost done. I do have one more idea for a little bit more extra fabric I have. So let's take a look at that. Well, guys, I used part of the waistband of the pants to get 2 strips of fabric. I basically cut the waistband open, took out the elastic, and made us some strips here that I've then ironed so they kind of look like single fold bias tape, kind of. My plan is to use them to attach a really thin edge of our knit fabric to the top of to the cuff of the sleeves. Hopefully that will help tie in the skirt fabric a little bit and make it look really like intentional. If you guys saw my fruit t-shirt dress flip this summer, I did something really similar. What I'm going to need to do is trim my fabric so that it would fit the edge and sew it into a tube. So I've trimmed it, sew it into a tube. Then I'm going to pin it to the outside and like stitch in this ditch I've ironed. And then once that is attached there, I'm going to roll the rest under and stitch it down on the inside. I might even stitch that by hand. We'll see. It's going to be a really skinny little band of fabric, but I hope it's worth it. I think it'll be worth it. We'll see. Okay, so I need to measure this, sew up the tubes, and then start doing some pinning and some stitching in the ditch. Let's do it. Well, you guys, we have our fall t-shirt dress all ready to go, and I really love this. It is super comfy. I'm really enjoying the colors, and I think it's going to be the perfect thing to wear here in early fall with season changing. Maybe add some layers, make it cozy. Stitching the bands down on the sleeves by hand, stitching that down. Took a little bit of work, but I really like the results. Think it was worth it. The skirt is a super twirly, and I super am enjoying that pattern. One note though, the skirt is a little bit heavy because there is so much fabric there. Also, the PJ fabric was a little bit thicker than the t-shirt fabric, and so the skirt pulls down a little bit on the dress. Not super noticeable, but just a good thing to keep in mind that that kind of skirt will be a little heavy. You guys, it is a gorgeous day outside, so I am wearing this dress as I go and run some errands and maybe do a little fall thrifting. So I'll take you along with me and show you this dress in action. While I'm doing that, it's a great time for you guys too. Give this video a big thumbs up and consider subscribing for more fun stuff from Partners in Craft. We got all sorts of good projects coming up, and I hope you join us for more adventures. Thank you to all of our subscribers, as always, for the likes and the comments. We appreciate you guys. All right, it's time to go outside.